Are you new to old vices? No, not drinking, smoking, and gambling. I'm talking about bench vices, old bench vices. Some of the old ones, particularly the quick release ones, can be a little tricky. I have one. Let me show you how it works. This is a 10-inch called the Columbian vise, made in America in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. And I'm not aware of actually how old it is, but it's kind of a unique vise. I have seen them on eBay running from $150 to $200. There's a 7-inch model and then this 10-inch model that I've seen. So the main thing you want to remember with these is that when you extend them out, there's a flat part in that center screw. You can see it there. So what happens is when you turn the handle and the actual screw part starts to engage, it sometimes is a little clunky. But if you know how to use the vise, it's very fluid and very easy to use. I'll show you. When operating this vise, the handle needs to be up a certain way so that flat on the screw that I showed you is up. And I just put a little white mark on the top of mine so my eye catches it quickly. As long as you have that, you're good to go. It pulls straight out and back in again with ease. Say you were going to put this little 1/2-inch piece of wood in this vise. You might, if you're unfamiliar with it, be tempted just to undo it, which will work, but as you see, it kind of catches on that flat spot, so it's a little clunky. The way you want to do it is just simply, even if it's small, like this 1/2-inch piece of wood, you're just going to pull it straight out, put it in, push it, and then maybe 3/4 of a turn, and it's in there solid. So if you notice, if you have it going the wrong way, it's not going to pull. You could go in with it, but you want this to line up. Again, that's where the flat is, right here. So if you have something bigger, you don't have to keep spinning, and again, it's clunky, you'll see it. You just pull out, put your piece of wood in there, give it a little turn, and you're in there. So, give you another example. I've got this little piece of mahogany. I'm gonna, in a later video, do an example of a ball and claw foot. And the reason is because there's a SAFM meeting coming up in October, SAFM being the Society for American Period Furniture Makers, where I'm going to be giving a demonstration on how to carve a ball and claw foot. So I figured I'd do one on camera so anybody that's attending will have a reference and you'll be able to see it as well. But anyway, again, we just push the vise in, turn the handle a little bit, and now we have a solid situation. And it can be turned really easy. You can turn it. And then when you're done, you're going to want to bring it back to the flat spot. And put it back in. Just that simple. So that's how the quick release vise works. Now, also what's nice about these older vices, they're sturdy. So say you have something in the end of your vise. Normally, if you crank down on one side, this side wants to pinch. So you have to put some blocks in here or whatever to keep it from doing that. But this one does not do that. A very little bit, if anything. And it's just nice and rock solid. So again, we'll bring this back to the flat at the top, which is more, I kind of have a little white mark there just so my eye catches it really quick. Push it back in, and you're ready for the next time when you want to put something in the vise. You don't have to sit here and you see how this is kind of clunky. It wants to grab on that flat, and you got to kind of pull it a little bit. Yeah, you don't want to do that. All right, I'll show you a couple other vices in the shop that you can kind of compare this to. Here's another example of a vise in the shop. So you just take this piece of wood, and if you put it on one end and you crank down, notice how this narrows here. It pinches, which it does still hold it, but then it loosens up on the edge here. This will hold it for most tasks, and it does a fairly good job, particularly if you use the full bench and you use the dogs and all that. It works well, but I don't expect a whole lot out of it. Another one is this twin screw vise, and this is great for keeping the jaws parallel, and you only have to use one to tighten it up, and it's rock solid. It's in there tight, and this no pinching here at all, and it's a great vise. And of course, you know, you can, with the dogs, you can go as far as you want with it, you know, clamping on the surface. The drawback to this is that if you want to put in something really wide, say 5 or 6 inches, you're going to be sitting here turning. There's no quick release function on this vise. So they all have their good and bad points, and it just depends on the type of woodworking that you want to do, and you get the vise that works for you. All right, well, I hope this helps, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.